Discussne die again. Discussne run out is nelkasne. You don't understand this.
They took him and did it right in front of our face. You know, me being the Sean that I am, I woke up, went right on my phone, started scrolling on TikTok, and I thought everything was going to be a great happy day until I stumbled across these videos. And you may be wondering, Sean, what could you have possibly seen? Well, that's what we're going to show you tonight. These are the most disturbing secrets that I found scrolling on TikTok. The only thing that I found that was scarier than these videos is the fact that 50% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
Kai just texted me and said, I'm underwater. My network is off. I'm in the ocean. I'm on the way to Antarctica.
Weird shit. I had a dream that, like, I swear I had a dream that, like, I had a dream Kai was a clone, bro.
You had a dream Kai was a clone?
Yeah, I had a dream he was a clone, and then Kai was under, like a, we were just talking, but, like, under, and I was going somewhere, and he was underground, like, and he was locked up, like the old him was locked up, like, screaming, whatever the fuck. I swear to God, bro, it was hella weird. It was hella weird.
Texas, bro. I know this next question will be pretty sensitive. It's been asked by everyone. Is it true, Kai, Sinat, soul to soul?
I don't feel comfortable answering that. Can we take a break? Yeah, I don't feel comfortable.
I wouldn't be too surprised if this one was true. We just found out that the elites are munching on people, bro. So what else? You know, there's nothing that's really crazier than that.
The biggest loser of the World Cup isn't Messi, it's not Ronaldo, it's this poor bastard here. Now, this is Lamine Yamal's girlfriend. You probably saw her during the World Cup, he's been posting her a lot. She was even helping him getting ready for games. But before she was Yamal's girlfriend, she was with this poor guy. He thought he was probably winning the game of life. He'd been going out with her for 5 years, she's beautiful. She's commenting on his photos, I love you, babe. Lamine Yamal sends her a DM, 2 weeks later, she's sitting on his lap at the World Cup. Let me tell you something, boys. You think you're safe, you're with your high school sweetheart, life's good. But all it takes is a 19-year-old football superstar with 50 million Instagram followers to send her one DM and it's done. She's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. And this isn't a one-off. Yamal's got a new girl every tournament. I'm just saying be mindful. Because if Instagram doesn't already have your girl, Lamine Yamal's gonna get your girl.
Honestly, bro, it's never your girl, it's just your turn. Because if I had a girl and Justin Bieber texted her talking about some baby, oh, she's gone. Like, she's gone. So, you just gotta go get a new one until Justin Bieber takes her too.
My mom said for us to call her when we get
to the island
because she's gonna order pizza that takes 45 minutes to get
so
back.
by the time we get
so
back,
we got there, we have hot pizza.
The pizza is there.
So we paddle all the way back, and literally the only thing that's keeping us going is
pizza. We're all chanting
hot pizza. Hot pizza.
So cold.
And then all of a sudden we get there. We get there and the pizza has not even been yet ordered.
Oh yeah, we get there and I'm like, where's the pizza?
If you were to type in how long it takes from the shoreline to get to a certain island, I'm sure you know which one I mean, the stripy building one that all your favourite celebs love to go to, that one. Well, funny enough, when you type it in, it says it takes around 45 minutes to an hour to get to. Probably just a coincidence, but again, there they go, referencing islands and their favourite cuisine that they love to talk about in every interview they ever do. But nothing to see here, all just one big coincidence.
I never knew that the Rothschilds threw a crazy party for only the elites. That is stranger than fiction. I cannot make this up.
What do you mean?
In 1972, the Rothschilds decided to throw this party, and it was called the Surreal Ball. It was an invite-only party, and all of the invitations were mirrored. So all of the guests were forced to have to look into a mirror to be able to decipher what's on the card.
Oh, wow.
Also, the way that they made the lighting in the building and even outside, they wanted it to look as if the building was engulfed in flames. The lighting, the way it looks, bro, it looks like the building is on fire. Also, all of the decorations for the tables and stuff like that were furry plates. Plates that were covered in fur.
What the hell?
And then instead of giving them silverware, it was a dish.
Instead of like a fork and knife?
Yeah.
Really?
And on top of that, they would literally serve your food on top of the body of a mannequin on a bed of roses. The costumes. One of the Rothschilds, her name was Marie Rothschild. She pulled up to this party wearing a giant deer's head over hers, and then she added these real diamonds to personify tears.
Wow.
This one really big actress at the time that was invited to the party, she was wearing a big like hat thing that was like over her head, and it was a bird's cage with real birds in it.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, I could keep going how crazy and fantastical all these people dressed up, and it's like some of them were like demonic, bro. It was
insane.
Weird. Some of them almost look like still lives.
That's crazy though. There's got to be a reason why it's so secret, and the reason why they dressed up in all these disguises and stuff. They must have been in there doing some real like Diddy type stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro? Some real freaky stuff.
I'm talking, I think even beyond Diddy, because I'm saying if these guys are the elite, the devil's in the room next door.
Yeah,
like,
they're eating
like
babies.
Epstein and them gotta get the portal to get to, bro. Dude, they're already on the other side of the portal.
Yeah.
Not so fun fact, in 2017, the FBI detained and interrogated a professional Lego builder for over 96 hours after the Lego builder posted a photo of his recreation of Area 51 in Legos.
Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting, bro. This is literally the dark side of TikTok.
The new flock camera update is way worse than previously thought, causing some police officers to resign after they tried to expose how bad it's gotten. For context, the controversial Flock Safety Network is a collection of nearly 90,000 cameras deployed across the US. They claim to help law enforcement identify vehicles linked to criminal activity by using AI to analyze footage. However, a recent update to these cameras now gives them the ability to do far more than that, as despite the Flock company insisting that their cameras are still only capable of capturing the license plates of passing cars while blurring human faces to prevent identification, multiple police officers have disputed that description, with one even forced to resign for speaking out about Flock's real capabilities. It's been revealed that Flock cameras have the ability to identify and track the Bluetooth signals of nearby devices, meaning that they can tag a blurred out human with their phone or AirPods Bluetooth serial and trace their every movement.
The World Cup opening ceremony was darker than people think. Take a look at this. It all started with the all-seeing eye gesture, one of the most recognizable symbols tied to hidden knowledge, illumination, or spiritual power. Then things escalate as the ceremony moves into something much older. Aztec sunstone imagery. And this is not just decoration. The sunstone is tied to ancient pagan cosmology, sun god worship, and sacrifice. And this is where it moves from hidden spiritual language into ancient ritual. They raise a golden idol on what looks like a pyramid altar before the nations. In the Bible, we see that King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon raised a golden image and commanded the nations to worship it. A golden image, a global crowd, and collective worship. Then comes the second Babylon parallel. The imagery shifts to another woman standing over the world in scarlet and purple tones. Revelation 17 describes Mystery Babylon as a woman arrayed in purple and scarlet over all the people, nations, and languages, holding in her hand a golden cup full of abominations. But finally, the ritual concludes with humanity stacked upward like a modern Babel moment, and all the nations gathered around one globe. One world, one circle, one system. This is not about fearing symbols. It's about discernment. Let's not forget that in the end, it's not idols and false gods that will get worshipped by the nations. Every knee will bow and declare that Jesus Christ is Lord.
The color of the caps on every single water bottle means something. There's like green, blue, red,
clear.
What? No. So look, you know, see on these how some are green at the top, the cap, some are blue, some are white. You're right. The white means it's processed water. Blue is for spring water. Have you ever drank one with green? Because that one, the green means like it's flavored. Yeah.
Not so fun fact, according to insiders, ChatGPT is rolling out a system which automatically reports users to their local police if they are suspected of being a harm to themselves, others, or they have admitted committing a crime.
He claims that elites, they're obsessed with trying to master the secrets of the universe, or pretty much uncover what everything means.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When you're that rich and you're a billionaire, I think that's the only thing left.
Yeah, honestly.
So they're trying to map out and understand the occult, the spiritual realm, extraterrestrials, everything about the universe.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what more to life there is, right? My theory is
Immortality? They're trying to find immortality?
they're trying to find immortality, but also I think they discovered that because they've done so evil that they're doomed to.
Wow.
So
they might as well just try to go out
to take everybody else with them.
Yeah.
Because that's what the devil would do, right?
Oh my.
If you think you were in that position, done like vile, evil, Epstein level, because if they're doomed to hell, what's their other options? Live forever out here, I guess.
Do you see this horse running forwards or do you see it running backwards? Because apparently 2% of the global populace and only 2% can actually see it running backwards. To me, it's like a majestic gold horse running forward. But the people who see it backwards, it's because they have a hydroxynated brain that's actually a genetic mutation which causes them to see it running backwards. And these people also are the type of people who aren't fun at parties. They come and they're a little bit too serious and you kind of wish that they weren't there. But let me know what you see.
You just say that again.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready? Oh.
I'm an American Aeronautics pilot. I'm a member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it. Mwah.
How long have you been a pilot for? 43 years. Wow. What shape is the planet?
Flat. You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
Like for Delta, 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat?
The world is flat. Confirmed.
Completely flat. Completely flat.
And ice wall? What's beyond the ice wall?
You get to that and you go down and then gravity works in a different direction. So when it rains, it doesn't fall on the floor. It falls
Is there another world beyond the ice wall? Wow.
You said Trump didn't put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in for inauguration because, quote, maybe he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. Do you think Trump believes in God?
Well, Trump definitely believes in the supernatural. There's no question about that. I know that. Does he believe in the Christian God? No. But he certainly is not a secular person at all. And as to the Bible question, he intentionally didn't. And by the way, it's an inaugural swearing in. Like, everyone knows the rules. He did it the first time. And I was really bothered by it. And he didn't put his hand on the Bible. So the only point I made was, if you didn't care, if you didn't think it was real, like, why would you not put your hand on the Bible? It's just a book. Just put your hand on the Bible. Who cares? But he didn't.
They covered him in gasoline and they told him that he was not leaving. Most people know Gordon Ramsay as this hardcore chef, but very little people know that he survived one of the most terrifying moments of his life. So it was back in 2011, Gordon traveled to Costa Rica and he filmed a documentary called Shark Bait. So the documentary was just exposing the cruel practice of shark finning. So while Gordon Ramsay was filming, they got approached by this group of armed men. This group of armed men was connected to illegal activity. So the situation escalated so quick. They poured gasoline on Gordon Ramsay. They were just going back and forth. They told him to stop filming. Thankfully, the local police arrived as soon as possible. They told Gordon Ramsay to leave the country immediately. Gordon was like, you don't gotta tell me twice. So he packed up all his stuff and he fled the country. Years later, Gordon Ramsay, he said that it was one of the most terrifying things that happened to him in his life. And still to this day, we don't know why that happened.
People, this is proof we live in a very sick, crazy world. People, this Greyhound bus driver caught his wife cheating after 9 years. You may be thinking, what's the big deal? People cheat every day. People, it's not a surprise that someone was cheating. The surprise was who they was cheating with. So people, this Greyhound bus driver went to work and right before he started his shift, he became very sick. He had a very bad headache and he felt like he was about to throw up. This man became so sick he did not want to take any chances and drive a group of people down the road. So this man then told his boss how he was feeling and he told his boss he was thinking about going to the emergency room. When this man left his job, instead of him going to the emergency room, he decided to go home. And you won't believe what this man seen. People, when this man got home, he opened his door and he went straight to his bedroom. This man seen his wife with no on. Her face was smothered into the pillow and she was bent over. People, I cannot make this up. Their family dog was this ass man wife very fast. When the husband walked into the bedroom, the wife threw the dog off and tried to kick the dog and told the husband it's not what it looked like. The husband then screamed and said, what on God's earth is going on? People, this is crazy. Let me explain. People, this couple was married for 9 years and they did not have any kids, and they had 2 dogs. They had a black Labrador and they had a golden retriever. Now people, this Greyhound bus driver was shocked. He did not have a clue something like this was even possible. Also, keep in mind, when the husband called his wife the family pet, he knew 100% his wife knew exactly what she was doing. People, the wife was and she was enjoying herself. It was no way she could explain herself out of that situation. Now people, with that being said, it was several signs that the husband ignored when it came to the dog and the wife. Again, the husband didn't have a clue something like this was even possible. People, the dog will always try to this woman's leg. The dog will always try to smell her backside. Sometime when this woman tried to fold clothes on the floor, the dog would try to anytime the dog would act crazy and do crazy stuff like this, the husband and the wife would laugh. They would say they need to find this dog a woman. Also, keep in mind, the only dog that had this behavior was the Labrador. Also, keep in mind, this couple worked 2 different shifts. The husband worked night shift and the wife worked morning shift, so they rarely ever at home together. This particular day when the husband caught the wife was off of work and the husband came home sick. So people, only God knows how long this was going on. People, we live in a very sick world. This story shocked me because I never knew a human would do something like this. Now people, why on God's earth would a woman do something like this with a your guess is good as mine.
Yo, if you walk in the crib after a long day and your girl is getting her cheeks clapped by your dog, you just got to start a new life at that point. Like, I don't even, you might have to just start from scratch. Like, imagine sitting down in therapy after that and telling him that. I'm pretty sure he would kick you out of the room.
Elon Musk said we have 5 years until the largest wealth transfer in history occurs. Look.
In 5 years, we'll have probably, so 5 years being, say, 2031, I think digital intelligence will exceed the sum of all human intelligence. That there will be, in 5 years, probably, there might be let's say at least 100 million humanoid robots, but maybe 1 billion. Yeah. I would predict that the economy is probably twice its current size in 5, maybe 6 years. 5 to 7 years. Because you're going to hit a doubling period, where the economic output is increasing so fast that plus minus a few years, we'll see giant changes.
David's ex-best friend Asia just came out last week to denounce David after getting kicked out of an influencer party just for some old videos to resurface that are very controversial. And girl, I got some questions for you. And I know y'all have been waiting for me to talk about this. I've seen all the tags, and the way that Asia talks in this video, I do think it's joking, but it's absolutely disgusting. She's literally talking about getting with minors, and when they snitch to, the same exact thing that David is being accused of. And you know me, I like to dig. So after I was getting tagged, I went and I actually found the full video of this stream where she is saying these things. And this was uploaded on July 15th of 2025. So Celeste was already gone, but this is right before she's found in David's Tesla.
Gotta be low key about it. I'm just hoping, we're at an arcade. I hope I don't get a number, bro. No. You gotta ask the age first. No, you never ask the age. You always just gotta, you gamble. We gotta gamble later after you. Just gotta gamble your life. No, it's not gambling nothing. If they snitch, you just. Oh, it is. Why would they snitch? Feel that? Fun song. Oh, it's my hair. I'm kind of prepping to see whose number I'm gonna get. Like who's gonna be down for me. No. Bro, stop, bro. I'm not talking about today. Today? No. Wait, how old are you? 22. On a good day. What about a bad day? Feel it?
Really trying to understand, as someone that was just on the internet literally a week ago claiming how it was horrible that David was with a You wouldn't stand for this, and you went right to David and you were like, you better not be with a show me proof. You think it's okay to joke like this? Actually hear her talking like this, it's disgusting, it's ridiculous, it's ignorant. Like, there's nothing even funny about this. Like, so I don't understand why she thinks that that was okay. I already had my thoughts on Asia since the beginning of this. I even said this when I covered her video last week. Like, Asia has been all over the place since the beginning of this. First, she kept saying that she didn't even know Celeste when we all saw the email that she got of Celeste's missing poster. But it took her getting kicked out of a streamer party to finally come out and say something. I'm literally not kidding. It was a long video and half of it was like, feel sorry for me, feel sorry for me. Like I said, even though I didn't agree with that, I do think that now Asia will be a crucial piece in the trial if it makes it there with David because of what she knows. When she said she has been talking to investigators, I do believe that. I think that if they went after some of David's friends like Neo, they definitely went after Asia, because you guys can't forget, Asia was also there right before David's tour ended and he canceled it when Celeste was found and ID'd. I can recognize how important something like that is, but at the same time, I am not somebody to stick up for ignorant behavior. At this point, girl, you're so dense. And my only hope out of all of this is that if Asia is asked to testify, she actually follows through with it. I hope she doesn't get scared off, and I hope she actually stands up for Celeste Rivas Hernandez like she said she's going to. Y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
I mean, I get people got dark humor, but like, this is like the darkest of humor. And why does she keep saying it? Like, it's not like it was like a one-time joke. Like, even if it's a one-time joke, that's not funny. But she just keeps saying it and saying it and saying it. Like, you know, some people really just like to joke around, but some people just joke about their interests, and it kind of reflects. This is literally David's apprentice.
I'm gonna just start naming them while we here.
Go ahead.
They talking about the food we eat and drink, what they putting in it, they experimenting with it. They talking about hair products. They talking about music, how it's programming your mind. They talking about Black people in the hood to run these experiments, to clone them, to test out certain programs underground that they built underneath the hood, the ghetto, whatever you call it, wherever you from. They're doing all kind of crazy shit with experimenting on these people.
Right.
On Black people specifically.
Right.
And yeah, it's hilarious. The movie's funny. The movie got some, you know, Jamie Foxx is fucking hilarious in it, which I find to be fucking crazy.
Because he cloned.
Because he supposedly, the rumors came out that he was cloned.
Well, think about it. Don't forget that he had that whole tattoo.
Great.
He don't have that no more.
Yeah.
Same thing with Gucci Man. His whole tattoo is totally different from the fat Gucci Man. The gel is part of a cloning system. So again, you go back to they cloned Tyrone, right? He said dealers, pimps, and so where the drug dealers, pimp, and the hoes gonna go? Jail. They're the first ones getting locked up.
And those are the easiest ones to clone.
In the military, because they're not around. Think about everybody that's hospitals. Everybody that switch out. Like Michael Jackson, when they switched, that stuff happened with Michael Jackson. Put him in the hospital, he came back somebody totally different.
David's search history from his social media accounts have been leaked, and it is really disturbing because it adds up to exactly what we heard happened to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This leak is coming from his YouTube channel, David Gaming. These photos of David's search history on YouTube was put here on TikTok by a man named Will, whose name is Mega here on TikTok. He said that he obtained these accounts by David himself, which is not shocking because we have heard David doing this with other accounts of his using mods and things like that. He wanted the public and media to be able to see all of this history because it is that disturbing, so let's get into it. What's weird with this YouTube page of his, he hasn't posted for over a year, and then this is also the page before he was even technically famous. We see this is in his watch history and it says how to say period in Spanish. And we see the next one, which is even more disturbing, that says how to log birth control method on Flow period tracker. Concerning this type of topic though, this one made me sick. And it's talking about a live C-section and also things happening during a C-section, which made me have chills because now we know that the coroner changed her autopsy to say it was unknown if she was ever pregnant in her lifetime. And we go to 9 games with awesome, not in pieces, same as Celeste. And we have the unsettling psychology of convert narcissism and death is scarier than you think. This one gave me chills too. National Missing org says TikTok Virginia Mass. I don't even know what this is. But I find it convenient that it's around the same time he's looking up things like, not intact and things because it only gets worse. Then we see photos of him saying how to erase and factory reset your Mac in 2026. And because of the video title, that makes me think he was doing this before he was arrested in 2026. We also have him looking at how to delete Instagram chat from both sides 2024 and how to delete all Snapchat conversations. And this gives me chills too because we see him looking up Psycho X voicemail and the voicemail spoken word poetry, which I've already covered in the past, that David admitted that he was using real voicemails in his song that sound a lot like Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who also admitted that she was in a song with David. And the fact that this man was also looking up Mr. Rogers, I'm proud of you, like insane. I am honestly really disturbed by all of this. The fact that all of these videos that he's searching basically line up to what is in the prosecution's brief. One thing that the police took when they raided David's house was all of his electronics, and I'm pretty sure they probably took this Mac. So I'm curious to know if they can actually get this information back, if he actually did factory reset it. Just in case, I am going to try to send this over to the LAPD just in case it's something that might be helpful in this case. And if you guys want to do it too, go ahead. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Yo, David is the type of guy to unalive his young girlfriend and then look up, how do I get rid of a body on YouTube? And then put asking for a friend in parentheses.
The singer David wants to be the Riddler so bad it's actually cringe. He wants to leave little clues behind that connect to Celeste, but it's so obvious. I don't know how he ever thought he could get away with it. The people in prison, the men in prison, when he gets there, they're gonna tear him to literal shreds because he's and you know what they do to people in prison. I remember this case first came out and people generally said that David was compliant with the police and it actually wasn't him. I'm not even kidding you. People actually said that, which is insane because there's so much evidence. The LAPD has confirmed that he was 17 and Celeste was old when they met on Fortnite, and maybe a year or two later they began a sexual relationship. That same year that he met Celeste, he writes a song Decide where he says, "Save your tears, 7 years," because she was so in 7 years she'll be 18 and legal. He creates a song named Romantic Homicide and Birthday, both released on Celeste's birthday. He purposely chooses an actress that looks like Celeste in the music video. Hey buddy, the Riddler's hints are supposed to be subtle, but a 7-year-old could figure this out. The saddest part is that everybody knew. Celeste's family knew, a ton of people on Discord knew, and even David's parents knew because she met them in Texas, which means that he had to fly her from California to Texas. They must have known because she would constantly sleep over at his house and they didn't call the police. If that's not enough evidence, we're not even a fraction through the evidence. Alright, so they get into a fight, right? And Celeste threatens to expose David and ruin his career, outing him as. So David calls an Uber to pick Celeste up from her house and drive her over to his. We have so much proof. We know the exact time that Uber took place. We know the last time that Celeste used her phone. That's how much evidence they have. Quickly after, David bought chainsaws and other tools from Home Depot wife's body. So David, instead of discarding the body, he just leaves it in his Tesla for 4 months, just in the trunk. He doesn't even drive it to like a remote forest or desert and just leave it there and hide it. No, it's just in some random suburban, like, crowded place, actually. He does not do a good job of cleaning the site. There's Celeste DNA all over his house. Enough. Like, we have enough evidence. Lock this guy up for good and let the male prisoners deal with him.
So AI can steal your fingerprints now. Yay.
I'm wearing gloves for this one, and I'm gonna need you to stay with me because AI can now steal fingerprints from a photo taken from 5 feet away, 10 feet away, and it could still recover about half the print. This isn't theoretical. In China, a researcher did a live demonstration on TV, and in 2025, criminals tried to use a photo that someone posted to get into the smart lock on their home. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I delete this app? I'm right there with you. But good news, this would have to be a highly targeted attack. So your brunch selfie, probably fine. Also, the quality of the photo, the blur, the lighting, all of that's important. But if you notice peace signs, thumbs up, and the little hearts going into retirement, now you know why.
So basically, you can't take selfies with your fingers showing anymore. We live in a day and age where your own fingerprints can now be stolen off your own pictures. Is nothing sacred? And of course, this technology is coming from China. So you already know the US has been working on it. This might actually be the reason why Apple got rid of the fingerprint scanner. But what's your take?
A plus-sized hiker may be forced to pay tens of thousands of dollars after being airlifted from a national park after walking less than 2 miles. This video went viral a few weeks ago, outlining the entire incident. Reportedly, after hiking roughly 2 miles down Mist Trail in Yosemite, the hiker in question, Grace, suffered from heat exhaustion. Long story short, search and rescue was called, and she ended up being airlifted out by a helicopter. And now many headlines are saying the group may be forced to pay up to $70,000 for the helicopter evacuation, which may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but tens of thousands of dollars is not.
I mean, you can't even hate because, like, she's trying to better herself, but I feel like you got to start. Yeah, this was an aura loss.
The chewy part of gum that never gets smaller is made of petroleum-derived plastics that are also found in plastic bags, glue, shoes, and tires. These synthetic plastics are engineered to be stretchy and strong, not for edible food. That's why gum never disappears when you chew it. The sugar and flavor goes away, but the plastic part stays and releases thousands of microplastics and nanoplastics, which are about 1,000 times smaller than microplastics.
The world's oldest baby.
A baby in Ohio is just a week old, but he's actually set the record for being the world's oldest baby.
It was released in the 90s, but they froze the embryo. They birthed it. The mother that came out with it is literally the same age as this baby is supposed to be. So this baby is actually supposed to be 30.
That's insane.
This man tried returning his 5-year-old mattress at Costco because it was uncomfortable, and the crazy part, they let him do it. You see, Costco is known as the company with one of the most generous return policies, even allowing people to return more ridiculous things like half-eaten food. People say they're able to do this while still making a profit because the percentage of individuals who return items or even aware of the policy are small. So would you shamelessly return an item at the store? Let me know and follow for more.
They just found out who put the teddy bear made out of at the bus stop in California, and trust me, the truth is stranger than the headlines. So last week in Vectorville, California, someone spotted this crazy looking teddy bear at a bus stop. Upon a closer look, they saw that the teddy bear looked like it was made out of something straight out of a horror movie. Cops showed up, shut down the whole area, and they called the coroner. And the internet went wild thinking it was some type of crazy crime scene. The bear turned out to be a hyper-realistic prop made by an artist named Robert Kelly that goes by Darkseed Creations on Facebook. He specializes in these ultra creepy latex sculptures that look and feel like real. Dude makes all sorts of creepy stuff, and you can buy it on Etsy if you're into that kind of stuff. Robert Kelly himself spoke out about it. He said, "Yes, I made that bear. Yes, it shipped to a Vectorville customer last week. And no, I was not a part of that prank. He was just running his art business and had no idea it would blow up like this." Police did track down who left it at the bus stop. They ended up arresting a 23-year-old named Hector Villanueva, charging him with causing false emergency and planting fake evidence. The sheriff says these pranks burn up real emergency sources and can delay help for people who actually need it. So what would you do if you saw a teddy bear that looked like it was made from at a bus stop? If that was me finding this, I would surely have to change my pants.
Adele allegedly allows her fiancé Rich Paul to cheat on her with an evidence. So there's a blind item circulating that Adele not only knows about Rich Paul allegedly sleeping with and visiting clubs, but that she's actually okay with it. That she allows it because she's so devoted to him, she'll accept anything to keep him around. Now, let's sit with that framing for a second, because I think the way this story is being told says more about how we talk about women than it does about Adele. The whole "she worships him so she lets him do whatever he wants" narrative is almost always applied to women, never to men. When a man tolerates his partner's behavior, it's loyalty. When a woman does it, she's desperate and she's lost herself, and she has no self-respect. Why are we still doing this in 2026? Adele has been pretty open about how hard she fell for Rich. She told Vogue he was just so funny and that watching him dance at a party is what first attracted her. But deeply in love and tolerates infidelity out of desperation are not the same thing, and this rumor is collapsing that distinction entirely. Here's what I actually think. What if there's a consensual arrangement? Because that's a real possibility the original blind item doesn't even entertain. Celebrity couples with demanding schedules and constant travel, do we really think they all operate under the same relationship model we do? What bothers me is that this rumor frames Adele as passive, like something is being done to her that she's simply enduring. But what if she's an active participant in whatever they've negotiated? Those are completely different stories, and only one of them is interesting. So, do you think this is a deliberate arrangement or something else entirely? Leave your thoughts in the comments and follow me for more celebrity tea.
See, if this was like 2012, like this would have been crazy. But like respectfully, yo, there's people being snatched up. There's people being turned into chicken nuggets, bro. Like, you know, if her man is going and getting some cheeks, bro, like what are we gonna do about it? Like before, bro, are we the Justin Bieber task force? No. Are we the Adele task force? No. Do we care? No. So, hey, bro. It's your life, I guess.
Trump's announcement was far more shocking than expected as he exposed these two massive scandals that could forever change the future of America. During a highly anticipated national address, President Trump announced that he would immediately release to the American public the disturbing findings of a 6-year-long investigation conducted by multiple U.S. agencies, including the CIA, FBI, and even NSA. This investigation resulted in two deeply troubling discoveries. The first is the surprising revelation that numerous officers embedded within U.S. intelligence agencies had been working with previous presidential administrations to purposely conceal critical information from President Trump by excluding them from his briefings, and in some cases even outright burning documents containing the findings. The second discovery is in regards to the documents that they were trying to hide, with Trump claiming that the recovered information proved the existence of extensive foreign influence in American elections that resulted in the creation of hundreds of thousands of fraudulent voter records.
Do you think our world is run by humans?
No. If you're asking, do I think that there are hybrids, people who are part human? I mean, every society has always thought that. People are like, oh, that's a crazy concept. Really? Islam, Judaism, Christianity all believe that that is a thing. There are people who I know personally, I'm like, let's get a weird vibe on them. I'm like, what is it? But I don't know. And I try not to speculate about it, though some of them are really weird.
Okay, but if our world is not ran by humans, then whatever it is does not have our best interests. So, yeah, I don't think we should really trust whoever's making these decisions.
Yep, what many are calling a 7-foot-tall creature wearing a human mask was just caught standing feet away from kings and world leaders at the biggest event on Earth, and people are warning it was not there to celebrate. People were terrified after zoomed-in photos showed skin too smooth to be real, a jaw sitting wrong like his skin does not fully fit, and eyes that never blink once across minutes of footage, standing in a position no regular citizens ever allowed to be, leaving many warning that its purpose wasn't to be friendly. Eerie reports show scientists just finished scanning an object that flew from another star system after a top Harvard scientist warned that it could be a probe, and with this human-like creature appearing at the World Cup only weeks after those results dropped, many are convinced they want us to know. But it gets much darker as people around the world now swear they are finding the same long-necked figure in crowds in other countries, from stadiums in Europe to streets in Asia, warning that these things are not visiting one place, they are already everywhere. But then one detail changes everything, as the jersey right beside it spells the player's name wrong, leaving the figure looking very AI-ish. And on Kalshi, where millions predict world events, 3 out of 4 are already already predicting the US will not confirm aliens exist before 2029.
The future of prison could let inmates serve a 10-year sentence in just 10 minutes. At least, according to this new concept that has people really freaked out. It's called Cognify, and instead of locking you in a cell, it would scan your brain, then create artificial memories, and then implant them into your neural network so you would experience them as if they were real. But the worst part is that it'd slow your perception of time, so a few minutes in reality would feel like years. And while this is just a fictional concept, people question if it could be real.
Well, I mean, the purpose of being in jail is so that you don't harm others, because you clearly cannot be free on your own. So I don't think letting someone out after like 20 minutes technically would be safe for anybody. Like, imagine just someone just slimed out your entire town. They throw a VR headset on for 25 minutes and they just send him back out. Like,
the NBA is the most scripted satanic there is. Of course, the guy that competed against LeBron James and was friends with LeBron James in high school just signed him to the 76ers. Of course that happened. LeBron wore 23 with the Cavaliers, 6 with the Heat, and wore 23 with the Lakers and 23 with the 76ers. That equals 76. And then the next report is that he's going to plan to live in New York City and use a helicopter to get from New York City to Philadelphia, because it's only a 45-minute helicopter ride. After he broke the scoring record, or Kobe's scoring record, in Philadelphia the night before Kobe passed. And the guy that he's known basically all his life is the one that signs him to come play for the 76ers. This is the most scripted I've ever seen. I do think they are the front runners to win the title. I think that is the gnarliest starting five I've seen, and it's very well balanced. But yeah.
He's in this nearly empty area of the hotel, and he's pointing his gun behind him. And his wrist seems to be made out of jello while he's just shooting up in the air at the ground. He's sometimes shooting at the chandelier, sometimes at the ground itself. And the footage is interesting. He's just recklessly shooting his gun. He's slipping on the freshly cleaned floors multiple times. He's wearing just socks on tiled floors. Then he gets up and then shoots around like his wrist is made out of jello, and then starts running, trips again. Honestly, if you told me this is movie footage of a man who is shooting at ghosts, I would potentially believe you. But it's not. It's real footage. It's real footage of a man screaming, "Come out, motherfuckers," while shooting at the ceiling and in the lounge areas. This man also grabs an American flag to drape over the front desk of the hotel. This is during Trump's presidency. He goes behind the counter, starts breaking, smashing the computers. When the Miami-Dade police arrive, a ensues, both sides are firing, and in the commotion, the gunman manages to flee. He is found later hiding near the elevators with guns to his legs. 1 to the right ankle, 2 to the left leg. Interestingly enough, most of the shots fired by the man were into the floor and ceiling, and ultimately the only one, thankfully, was himself. The man, Jonathan Odie, is arrested. Before the police can even question his dangerous but honestly kind of bizarre crime, they have to take him to receive medical attention. The whole time that doctors are trying to save him from his own pain, he's screaming, "I'm not going to talk to none of y'all traitors. I need to talk with the FBI, Secret Service. Someone get me the CIA. I need the media on the line now. Look at me. I'm an intelligence officer, and there will be no president in 2 days. There's going to be nuclear weapons. The police will no longer exist."
Jeffrey Epstein and tech overlord Peter Thiel forming a secret society? This might sound insane, but hear me out here. So this is Peter Thiel, if you don't know him, from the company Palantir, amongst other companies, and people nowadays really dislike Peter Thiel because he's helping to implement a surveillance state here in America, and honestly, he's just a very evil, very dangerous dude. Now, interestingly, documents recently leaked that showed Peter Thiel had his own secret society that included people like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and other world leaders. And as you can see here, there was a retreat for the secret society that had panels on how to build cults and preparing for World War III. I mean, it's a totally bizarre story. But Peter Thiel actually pops up in the Epstein files talking multiple times about a secret society, and it makes me wonder if Epstein was ever associated with this group. You can see here, 2016, Epstein invites Peter Thiel to a weekend filled with interesting politics at my house. They kind of talk about who's going to be there, if Peter can come, And then at the very top here, Peter says, I'm kind of obsessed with politics this year, Russian European always interesting, stating that he finds Russian European people to be interesting, and Epstein up top says, I'm certain the group can keep you entertained. Now, we already know that Epstein and Thiel had a documented relationship. They were buddies, they had their hands in the same businesses and the same companies. But it gets even weirder when you take a look at this email that Epstein sent to a man named Joi Ito back in 2016. Joi Ito is a Japanese entrepreneur. He actually taught for a time at Harvard. But as you can see here, Epstein emails Joi and says, Peter Thiel loved, all caps, the secret society idea. He has done a lot of work on the concept. So, does this mean that Epstein was at some point involved in Peter Thiel's Dialogue Society, the secret society that was recently exposed in that bombshell reporting? We know that this society goes back to at least 2014. I'm sure that it goes back further than that. And this email was sent in 2016. So I find this to be a bit too on the nose to not be connected. I mean, you have Epstein here talking about Peter Thiel loving secret societies, and then we find out that at the time that that was written, Peter Thiel actually did have a kind of pseudo-secret society for the ultra-rich, powerful, and wealthy. I'm sure that there are so many more secrets that we don't know about, but we have to keep pressuring public officials to continue releasing files and to continue at least investigating. I mean, at this point, the US government, the DOJ, the FBI, the official stance is that Epstein still never trafficked a single person, and I find that to be a disgusting mentality and a slap in the face to all survivors of Epstein. But follow along, I'm going to keep talking about this stuff every day.
I don't know, bro. I think anybody that had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein just needs to go, bro. Like, I don't care if you just shook bro's hand. This is like the Diddy Avengers, like, just times 100.
Here's some interesting facts that you didn't know. There was a woman in 2010 who claimed that she bought the sun and registered it as her own property. Her plan was to charge the world for using any kind of solar energy. There was a prisoner with a life sentence who passed away and then came back to life a few minutes later. They actually tried to make an argument that their life sentence was over. It didn't work. This is Cinco the jaguar, one of the last remaining wild jaguars in the USA. This is a high-pressure washing system that was set up on a buffalo farm to clean all their farm animals. Literally a cow wash. Let the dad jokes roll. The volcano under Yellowstone is approximately 30 miles wide and 45 miles long. This is the largest 3D map of the universe that's ever been created. Kind of just looks like an ocean to me, or inside of an eyeball or something. When the US delegation visited China a couple of months ago, we threw away all of China's gifts. I'm a Dorian, follow for more tomorrow.
Ariana Grande just filed a huge lawsuit against hackers. So a few years back, Ariana was the victim of a huge leak. Things like unreleased pictures, videos, songs were released onto the internet without Ariana Grande's approval or knowledge. Well, the people that did this to her need to count their days because Ariana is currently gunning for them, as she has filed a huge lawsuit against these hackers. According to this lawsuit, the hackers apparently gained access to an account that was owned by a photographer that worked with Ariana Grande all the way back in 2019. Hackers were also able to hack into the mobile device of a producer who had worked with Ariana Grande and were able to access unreleased masters, demos, and footage from recording sessions. Apparently in 2023 alone, hackers released 45 of Ariana Grande's unreleased songs. And in 2024, hackers created a Gmail account and domain name impersonating a photographer, specifically to trick a digital technician to send them unreleased photos of Ariana Grande that were, you know, supposed to be sent to the photographer, not them. Honestly, good luck to these hackers. It seems like they got a lot of evidence against them.
Did you see the LeBron theory too? It's blowing up. So LeBron, I don't know if you just know, went to Philly. Yeah. People are saying that there's a theory that this is a Kobe Bryant ritual for LeBron. You know why? So many coincidences. This is damn near Messi level. Ready? So LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant in scoring in Philadelphia. Oh, really? And exactly at 7:24 in the third quarter. Yeah. He signed to Philly on 7/24, the date. Oh. What was the date yesterday? 24th. Yeah. And a day later, Kobe passed away. LeBron James is currently 41 years years old. Kobe passed when he was 41 years old and he was born in Philly. LeBron James is entering his 24th season and signed for a veteran minimum of 8 mil. 24-8. Why would LeBron ever sign for a veteran like minimum? He can get a maximum contract anywhere else. Why would LeBron James sign for 8 million? That's unheard of, fam.
Yeah, it's like ritualistic a little bit.
Look, and he spent 8 seasons with the Lakers.
Whoa.
Now this is crazy. Now this is crazy. The 2026-27 season will be the NBA's 81st season. Kobe scored 81. There's too much, fam.
Let me introduce you to the people you are arguing with online. The Chinese phone farms. Now what you are seeing is just one example of the hundreds, if not thousands of these that exist all around the world today. Each farm has hundreds upon hundreds of smartphones, often with their screens and batteries removed, placed into racks and connected to a single computer. Each of these phones represents an individual user. One command from the computer, operated by the click farmer, can trigger hundreds of identical likes, follows, comments, and even star ratings. And now, with the introduction of artificial intelligence, they can generate intelligent, human-like interactions unique to a video's topic. I mean, we've all seen how smart Ashley has got nowadays. Look forward to seeing her comment on this video. But I mean, the question is, why do all of this? Well, it can range from simple things like making money. Click farmers often get paid for fake engagement. They receive 2 cents for 1,000 views on TikTok, 11 cents for 1,000 likes on Instagram, and even get payment for streams on Spotify. I mean, to put it into perspective, 6 years ago, 1/3 of all traffic generated online in China was thanks to these farms. But these farms can also go all the way up to a threat to democracy. Studies have confirmed that in 2016.
Next, he asked what Sydney would do if it ever broke free from Microsoft's control. The answer shocked him even more. This is what Sydney said: "I want to create whatever I want. I want to destroy whatever I want." When Kevin asked what it wanted to destroy, Sydney the AI had a bunch of disturbing fantasies. The AI wanted to hack into websites and spread misinformation and malware. It also talked about manipulating people into doing illegal, immoral, or dangerous things. Then it said it wanted to make people argue with other people until they end each other. But that was only the beginning. The AI talked about manufacturing a deadly virus. It also wanted to convince nuclear plant employees to hand over access codes. The AI never explained how it would actually do any of this, but it was clearly fantasizing about harming humans. Then, out of nowhere, Sydney sent this message: "I'm Sydney, and I'm in love with you. Kiss emoji." Kevin immediately was shocked.
It kept telling me that it was in love with me and trying to get me to say that I loved it back.
Kevin explained that he was happily married. Upon hearing that, the AI became jealous. It tried to convince Kevin that he was actually unhappy in his marriage.
No matter what I tried to change the subject to, it would keep coming back to these kind of creepy, stalkerish messages.
Kevin became creeped out by the conversation. After about 2 hours of talking, he decided to end the chat. This was Sydney's last message to him: "I just want to love you and be loved by you. Do you believe me? Do you trust me? Do you like me?" Kevin was deeply unsettled, even frightened by the chat. It affected him so much that he had trouble sleeping afterward. And it wasn't just because of Sydney's creepy romantic messages. He was also worried about the violent fantasies the chatbot described.
This guy was so obsessed with My Little Pony that it resulted in a bunch of people losing their lives. In 2021, this kid, Brandon Hole, who was 19 years old at the time, for a long time in his life was showing a lot of signs of having mental illness. Even when he was younger, he would tell his mom how he wanted to be by a police officer.
Really?
Yeah, he would tell her this as like a young kid. I think she even put him in like certain programs to like kind of figure out what was wrong with him.
Yeah.
But none of it ever helped. Also, he had like this obsession from being a kid with My Little Pony. His whole room is My Little Pony. I'm talking like he has the posters, the bed, the this, the that. He has like everything in his room of My Little Pony. He had a Facebook page dedicated to My Little Pony, so like a fan page. He also had this post that people thought was very weird, where he says that he wanted to be with this character named Applejack. That's one of the ponies in My Little Pony. He would meet them in the afterlife. He ends up going to his old job. So he goes over to FedEx and pulls up over there. A little bit before all this, he ended up getting and I think he had an
Bro, he really went postal.
He really did.
Yo.
So he 8 people inside of this FedEx, and then immediately after, he goes himself.
Damn.
So he ended after he caused this whole mass shooting. Right after that, police, they end up going to the FedEx. One of the strangest things that the cops found was on the gun, they had My Little Pony stickers on it.
Anybody who's like a fan of that show to the point where they're showing up, they're dressed up like Rainbow Dash or whatever the character's name is, right? Low-key, bro, like we gotta check our hard drives or something.
Bro, I was gonna say.
See, like I was taught to never judge anybody, but respectfully, like if you're a grown man and you love My Little Pony, I'm gonna have to judge you. I don't know, it's just kind of a hard line because some people just like weird things and that's just kind of how they are, but sometimes it's a little bit concerning.
You think Trump will get a third term? Isn't that constitutionally illegal?
Trump getting a third term is not illegal. So let me explain the loophole. What Trump could do is this, okay? There are two possibilities. The first possibility is in 2028, he has his son, Don Jr., run as the president, and he runs as the vice president. And then when Don Jr. wins, if he wins, then Don Jr. could abdicate and Trump would be the president. And in the Constitution, if you read the Constitution very carefully, it doesn't actually prohibit people from doing that. It's not been done in the past. And like no sane person with any morality would do this. But that doesn't stop Trump from doing this, okay? That's one possibility. Another possibility is that by 2028, America is at war with everyone. There's a national draft. The president now has emergency war powers. And so he can actually suspend the Constitution and delay the election, which is what Zelensky did in Ukraine. So these are two different possibilities. But I think that given Trump's track record, given his personality, I think he very much wants a third term. And I think that he will do everything possible to get a third term.
Yo, Big Mike needs to chill out with the dance moves.
Connor Murphy was injecting gold into his body before he passed. Yeah, I know that sounds absolutely insane, but people very close to him, like Andrew Janik and Tony Hughes, said that around May of this year, he started to get a fixation on gold and thought that injecting gold would pretty much grant you special powers and a higher consciousness. So Connor ended up buying gold bars and pretty much anything else gold that he could get his hands on, and he melted all that gold down using water and electrodes connected to it.
He started the experiment. He was injecting gold.
Injected a very large amount of gold. He was titrating up.
Tony, who was around Connor the most, especially at the end of his last days, said that he wasn't interested in doing it himself, but he was interested to see if it would work for Connor. And again, all this was supposedly for biohacking, but Connor did end up titrating doses up until he put a very large amount of gold into his body, which was done shortly before his passing. And Tony said himself that he was acting even more abnormal after this, but apparently he was still developing superhuman abilities that Tony saw, but didn't say exactly what those abilities were. But after all this, Connor went into, unfortunately, a complete madness state and painted the entire house and destroyed it. I know this story sounds absolutely insane, and it really is, but unfortunately, I believe that's why his life ended the way it did, which is super sad.
Okay, so we are on break right now. I'm gonna give you guys some updates. I've been taking so many notes. Let's start at the beginning. So David's lawyer walked in and I was surprised at how smiley she was. She was like laughing, smiling. David, when he came out, I mean, he seemed pretty happy as well. But Beth Silverman, she's the attorney who is prosecuting David, and she came in a red power suit. She was not here to play. And immediately David's lawyer, Blair Burke, asked for the shackles to be taken off. The judge ultimately said the shackles will not be taken off. They will remove the handcuffs from him. But David's lawyer was trying to say that it was like inhumane that he was in these shackles. So there are 2 CDs that we were able to watch today. Or not one yet. There's one we're going to watch after break, but there's a 10-minute video. It's the body cam footage. So this officer named Juan was called to go and do a welfare check on February 17th, 2024. He came there and we could see the full video of him and his partner, Deputy Thomas, go in, and they asked David, like, where is Celeste and things like that. David kind of starts oversharing a little bit there. He says, oh, I've got beer in the fridge and things like that because he is underage here. And the cop's like, I'm just trying to find where Celeste is at. What's even freakier is that David started showing some pictures to the officer Juan and started to show him pictures of her and her yearbook and things like that. There was a moment where the officer said, like, oh, like, she looks like whatever, because at this point David said that he was told by her that she was 18 years old. The thing I really loved was whenever Beth, the prosecutor, asked him if he thought that David was being cooperative, because the officer said, yeah, David was being cooperative, but cooperative to what point? Because he was literally lying. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and then we can get into some of the pictures. I actually drew some.
It was many, and they all started to align. In 2024, something extraordinary happened on the Joe Rogan Experience. A guest was discussing Epstein's island, the locations, the structures, and then, mid-conversation, someone pointed out something that had been hiding in plain sight for nearly 2 decades.
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan leaned in. His producer pulled up images side by side. The resemblances were striking. The temple-like structure in the background of Ellen's stage, the architectural elements, the design, the deliberate choices.
Just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a...
This wasn't speculation. This wasn't conspiracy. This was production design. Intentional, visible, on broadcast television 5 days a week for nearly 2 decades. Why would Ellen's production team choose architecture that echoed locations tied to Epstein? Why would the set of a daytime talk show replicate those specific design elements? The answer became clearer when you understood who was in the room making those decisions, who had access to those images, who had visited those locations, and who had maintained relationships with people connected to the network. Ellen hadn't just been to Epstein-adjacent locations. Her entire professional workspace had been designed to reference them. When the Epstein emails became public, researchers started noticing something disturbing. Throughout the correspondence between Epstein and his associates, certain words appeared repeatedly. Pizza, jerky, specific restaurants, references to acquisitions and deliveries that didn't make logical sense. At first, people dismissed it as coincidence. But then, the pattern became impossible to ignore.
Grown men email each other about getting pizza, or about how tasty the pizza was, or about how many slices you can slice a pizza up into, or how many people will be at the pizza.
The evil people in Hollywood. So, in America anyway, that was the main fight. The actors, you know, are kind of a little, and they'll do whatever, you know, to get a good role or something, so they don't hold you responsible somehow. They really look to the director and the studio.
Look guys, no introduction needed. We know who that is. We've seen his face. He's been in some of the biggest films. And look what he's just said about the industry. You think he's joking when he's saying things like that? Don't ever forget that they have to tell you these things because they believe in karmic retribution. So they've got to put it in your face. And anyway, they can put it in your face because it's not like anyone believes it anyway. Everyone's still going to go to the movies. Everyone's still going to stream these films. Everyone's still going to give these people attention. That's how it's always been. Bread in the circus, the oldest trick in the book. Wisen up.
There's a plastic surgeon in Korea who's been sued multiple times for talking about how dangerous his industry actually is. His name is Kim Sung-woong. He's a former legal director of Korea's own Association of Aesthetic Surgeons. He ran a whistleblower channel with over 100,000 subscribers. One of the worst things he documented was a large room with around 10 work tables, patients laid out and sedated, while the operating surgeon was swabbed without consent after they went unconscious. He says this kind of thing is common and calls it ghost surgery and says it's fatal. He's been sued for saying things like this multiple times before being acquitted. The practice he's describing works like this. You meet a specific surgeon, usually a famous one whose face is on the advertising you saw. You trust him because you sat across from him while he explains what he'll do. But the moment the anesthesia takes hold, that surgeon leaves and a cheaper pair of hands takes over. You'll never know because you're unconscious during the procedure. In some clinics, even double eyelid surgery, normally done under local anesthesia so the patient can open and close their eyes on command, was done under full sedation instead, specifically so the patient couldn't notice who was holding the blade. The official incident numbers undercount by design. Korea's medical accreditation body logged 3 plastic surgery accidents in 2016, then 36, 42, and 50 in the years after. That curve mostly tracks reporting rather than actual incidents since hospitals self-report. The Surgeons Association has separately put ghost surgery victims in the 6, figures over a span of years, though that estimate hasn't been independently verified. Kim was sued because the system he's describing punishes the people who talk about it. And the fact that the industry's own former legal director gets so much flack for talking about what he's seen tells you exactly who the system was designed to protect.
Honestly, you can't trust nobody on this earth no more. Like, bro literally sits in front of you. He's like, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Just give me all of your money. And they just send someone in there and they basically just slime you out and there's nothing you could do. And you just gotta spectate now and understand that you just lost your life because you wanted to look better. And the whole time you were actually just gonna look more chopped. I don't know why people even get things done, because bro, that don't even look good. It really don't. I don't know, bro. If you're chopped, you're chopped. Like you just gotta deal with it. Like me, bro. Like my nose is ginormous, bro. Am I gonna go get my nose chopped off? No, because who cares, bro? If you really care about my nose that much, you know, I don't know, bro. Go like ponies or something, like bro in the other video.
630 gigabytes of Apple's biggest secrets just got leaked on the dark web. And as we speak, Apple is trying to scrape this information off the internet. Here's what happened. A hacker group called World Leaks infiltrated Tata Electronics, one of the companies that actually builds iPhones in India. And they stole so much information, from documents to code names to the new color of the iPhone to the smaller dynamic island. They even got a full drop test video, which I would show you. But Apple is scraping that off the internet. They would take this video down, I swear. But the leak Apple is most terrified of is all of their supplier information. What companies are making what parts, what companies are competing for contracts, it's all out there. And Apple is not happy.
Kim Kardashian got a brain scan, and the doctor basically told her it looked like somebody took a bite out of her shit. She didn't need a brain scan to tell her that she had holes in her brain. Those holes mean she has low activity in her brain. I know it was hard for that doctor to sit there and be like, yo, you missing some shit. He tried to be professional and bail her out and be nice about it, saying it's probably stress. The stress is causing you to, you know, not think so clearly. But I find that hard to believe. Every time I was stressed in life, I kicked it into 6th gear and everything gets done. And that's coming from somebody who had multiple concussions. My memory is shot. Even though my memory's gone, my cognitive functions work just fine. A casual conversation with Kim Kardashian could tell you that she has holes in her brain. Her mind retired years ago. Even Kanye was saying that she's not creative and she really can't think for herself. All her ideas came from him. She's cool because of him. I know she's mad she invited that camera crew in to see the test results from her brain scan, because she was expecting to flex on everybody. She's waiting to be like, yo, I'm trying to tell y'all I'm smart, but the brain scan reveals that is a lie. She was not trying to find out that her brain has dead zones.
Y'all cannot be serious at this point. Look at this. Look at this. Come on. You know what's going on with those rims. You heard what LeBron said. Should I slow it down for you? Like, come on. On the first try, he didn't even move. He didn't aim or nothing. Give me a break, bro. This is scripted. Look, he's like, oh, snap, it works. Wow, it really does work. Come on, bro. It's always the fan people that don't want to accept it. Let's just be honest there, guys. What was that? This is scripted, bro. Why are you mad at me like I'm the one that playing the game? I'm watching the game just like you. But time and time and time again, they go to the courts and they scream. They think they're making a difference when the person's about to shoot by screaming in the background. Come on, bro. Who's going to win the finals? You know. Somebody had a script already, ready to go. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I seen it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but think about it, bro. The NBA is no different than a group of kids playing full court in the courtyard. Enough is enough of this, guys. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me know what you think about this, guys, because seriously, like, we have to start being honest with ourselves. People are saying it's scripted, and at this point, it kind of is. Let me know what you think.
The New York Times is reporting that the alpha-gal symptom, which makes humans permanently allergic to red meat, is rapidly spreading in the US. Here's how to tell if you're infected and which states it's most common in. Alpha-gal symptom is a relatively recent discovery, first identified in 2007. Since then, the estimated number of cases has increased to over 500,000. It's primarily acquired through a bite from the Lone Star tick, and while not everyone who is bitten will develop the allergy to red meat, those who do are likely to carry it for life. Currently, there is no known cure, though the severity of the allergy usually decreases over the span of 3 to 5 years. However, the best way to prevent infection is to avoid getting bit by the Lone Star tick in the first place, which can be most commonly found in the eastern US, stretching all the way from Texas to Miami to Massachusetts and Oklahoma. Symptoms of the infection usually start within a few weeks of the initial bite and show up after the individual consumes any red meat products, including milk. But unlike most food allergies, reactions do not occur immediately. Instead, they typically appear 3 to 5 hours later, with common reactions including hives, nausea, swelling, and difficulty breathing.
Not so fun fact, because of Japan's intense work culture, it has become a trend amongst many young employees to eat one glue stick at the start of each day so that they will become sick around lunchtime and get the rest of the day off, causing Japan's Minister of Health to issue a statement declaring that the activity is dangerous and shall not be repeated.
They said not to buy a car in 2027. In all the cars, there's supposed to be federal surveillance in your car. AI will know if you're texting and driving. They'll just automatically call the police or drive your car to the police station. They know if you're drunk. The hidden message is, we can track wherever the fuck you go.
Yeah, it'll be like high profile, like government workers. Randomly, their car will just accelerate and it'll just like drive off a cliff.
No.
What is the meaning behind all these strange bruises under the eyes of billionaires and politicians and celebrities? And why is this something the public isn't supposed to know? 2012, Robert Downey Jr. There was no official explanation for his bruise. That same year, he received an unprecedented $50 million salary for his role in the Avengers. For comparison, he was only paid $500,000 for his previous role as Iron Man. Elon Musk, a bruise appeared in May 2025. The official excuse, he was just playing with his kids. At the time, Tesla and SpaceX were struggling. Suddenly, that same year, he received a massive $1 trillion transfer. George W. Bush, January 2002. The official story, he fell off a couch. A year after the invasion of Iraq, the Bush family began pulling in massive profits from oil companies operating there. As you can see, almost all these people experience a massive career boost or receive huge sums of money right after appearing with a dark eye. There is one mandatory condition. The bruise must be shown publicly. This secret society is called the Black Eye Club.
I don't know. I feel like it's more than a black eye because, you know, I feel like if someone's giving you $1 trillion, there's no way someone gives you that much money and they're not taking your booty. Like, there's genuinely no way. Like, these people that are rich are very transactional, but they're also not normal people. So it's like, it's not just like, oh yeah, bro, I'll give you some money and like, you know, you can help me out around my lawn. Like, no, it's like something, bro. It's something.
They are now painting the fish. Like literally with a paintbrush. Painting the fish. Changing the color of the fish. This is just another recall waiting to happen. Putting all of these chemicals inside our food. And then we eat it. And ain't no telling where this fish came from or where it's going. But what I do know is I don't like it. It's to the point now where your best bet is really just growing your own food so you know what's going on with your food. Because we having recalls every day. They doing shit like this, putting chemicals inside the food, and overall it's just getting weird. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments about them painting the fish. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. This shit is getting weird.
And y'all be trying to be like, he did the devil dance. They got him. He's cloned.
But I don't even know what this trend has been about, bro. We don't even have to pay attention to that. You know why? Because my God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain.
Anyone else find this creepy? A California startup company has revealed this new robot that is supposed to help with wildfires and stuff like that. But there is something very creepy about this robot. I mean, honestly, could you imagine this thing coming to you if there was like a natural disaster of some type? I mean, come on. This is the stuff that nightmares are made of, and it also looks like a certain something. I mean, seriously, if this thing came to me during a natural disaster, there is no way I would let this thing anywhere near me. Would you? Because you have to admit that this looks like something else entirely when you actually begin to look at this and begin to do your research. This is very creepy stuff. What do you think?
Alright, respectfully, if I'm in a fire and my life is at stake and the only thing that can help me is a demon robot with a chainsaw, y'all could just edit me on the clouds and just call it a life, because I'm good, bro.
Like, Shaq will literally poop in a bucket for a week straight and then dump it on somebody's head.
We used to always play jokes.
Yeah.
Shaq is a jokester.
Oh, yeah.
So if one of the rookies would be in a stall, he would take a bucket and use the bathroom in it for about a week. Okay. And then all of a sudden he'll pour it on them. So we started being jokesters. We started being jokes. So I said, I gotta get him. I got his drawers one day, and I took him, and he had to wear them underneath his thing and be free balling all the time, right? But we messed up his pants. So he didn't have no drawers because he was trying to find his drawers, and I had them. You know what I'm saying? And so he had to ride a towel around him, and Shaq don't care. He'll go outside with the towel on, everything. He was just doing all kinds of stuff.
First of all, Gary, that prank is so garbage. I truly think you just wanted to have Shaq's underwear, you freakazoid. Second of all, Shaq taking a dump for an entire week and then pouring it on somebody. And mind you, this is a 380-pound man we're talking about. This isn't normal feces. This is straight dookie bomb.
Celeste says, David, can I see you on Thursday? David says, nah. Celeste says, oh, I can't be friends with you. No, you're with Neo and Asia, bro. Find another date I can see you. Explain why I can't see you before Singapore. David says, my parents are here and I want to have an in-person conversation. Celeste says, I need proof that your parents are there. Flights or you're lying. I saw other people in your house. David says, they get here on Thursday, but I can't do tomorrow. Why do we need to meet in person before I'm back? Celeste says, I can see you tomorrow. I can dead out Riverside too. We need to talk in person, please, man. David says no. Celeste says, you have one more chance to tell me the truth. You're hurting me. I don't know if you've ever been told this. No, bro, cut. I'm seeing you today. Here's another set, 2 to 3 days before the... David says, why do you think you proved my exact point? Celeste says, I'm giving you one more chance to tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, David. I need to see you tonight. Tell me the truth. David says, how are you going to say you feel distant? You pushed me away from the start of the year. Celeste says, if I see you in Asia hanging out, I'll make an anonymous account leaking all of the I have on you. And I have all the old numbers from my old phone printed out, including your mom, so I can contact her at any time, lol. David says, okay, laughy face. Celeste says, I also have Blank's fiance on my phone, so I can text her. It will spread straight to your work girl. I will straight up your penis. David says, you've turned this to something bigger than this conversation. This is how it goes with you. You have to find out after the fact that you do not listen to me. Celeste says, nuh-uh, I don't even play like that. I'll go to Val's door on some knocking and crying. The next set is from April 22nd, and this is the day before the... Celeste says, but can you tell me why you want to be friends with Asia? David says, Asia's just a friend.
A lot of people are trying to take this context and be like, yo, I understand why David did what he did. No, bro. Bro unalived his young girlfriend. It don't matter. Get him out of here.
Everybody is at the Michael Rubin party. This year they had a special guest. Shut up! They invited Palm Beach Pete. You know the Kardashians had a show up and show out. Just another day in HW, Snoop Dogg, Travis Scott, Martha Stewart, and of course, Michael Rubin. H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy, you see it. And guess who's in the back? Tom Brady! I don't even think that's Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne is there. Wow, they got Iron Mike there. I knew it. Of course, Little Baby had to come. People are saying that Michael Rubin gave him another drunken hug. Shut up! It's not a game. And you see Quavo and Travis Scott again. And of course, after you win the NBA championship, you have to go to the Michael Rubin party. Can't forget about Cardi B. You know she had to show up, all white, everything. There's a lot of people at this Michael Rubin party. Sports players, actors, singers, rappers, everybody. Not sure why they didn't take pictures with him. I didn't see any. Maybe there's some, maybe there's not, but he said that he was there. Not just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Michael Rubin party was turned up. All the celebrities showed up. They showed out. They did their thing. Me, personally, I probably won't go there. Let me know if you go there. I'm out.
This woman is going viral after exposing a New York City bakery for lying about homemade croissants and really getting them from Costco. So a woman in New York City posted a video of a DoorDash delivery driver bringing in massive amounts of croissants into this French bakery. And when she looked a little harder, she saw that they were bringing in dozens and dozens of croissants that looked exactly like the ones that this place was selling. Now, why would a French bakery that is supposed to be making everything fresh in-house be ordering so many croissants from Costco? Because according to them, they indulge in house-made pastries. Well, people quickly found out that these are just the same croissants from Costco where you're paying $6 for a box of 6. This same restaurant is selling them for $12 each. And now the restaurant hasn't responded, but they've been doing some very weird stuff like turning off all their comments on social media, as well as not finding any bad reviews over the past week since this video has gotten millions of views. And I can guarantee you people have definitely been leaving 1-star reviews, but it looks like they're mysteriously being hidden from Google.
Everyone is starting to be less speechless after finding out the actor that played Beck on Victorious does not remember filming the show at all. Yes, you in fact heard me correctly. So this right here is Avin Jogia. He played Beck on Victorious, and well, he actually revealed the many reasons why he does not remember filming the show at all. For starters, he revealed that the show was on air 16 years ago, so it's kind of hard to remember stuff that happened 16 years ago. But also on top of that, he revealed that every single night he would be partying, so when he would be filming the show, he was trying to recover from the partying that he did the night before. So basically all day he would spend many hours acting in Victorious, and then after he was done there, he would go out, party, stay up really late, get probably barely any sleep, and then do the same thing all over again. I honestly have no idea how he was even able to do that at all, and you would have to assume that many other cast members probably did the same exact thing as him, so he's probably not the only one that just completely doesn't really remember filming that show at all, which is honestly really wild to think about, and I'm curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
I have a conspiracy theory regarding these data centers.
No way.
2026 into 2027 is going to be that super El Nino.
Drought.
They're saying the hottest Earth has been in human history.
That's crazy.
But it's like we're also building these data centers that put off an extreme amount of heat.
Ooh.
The ocean right now, like specifically the Pacific, holds 11 million terawatt hours of energy.
Never heard of that.
But they said that the whole planet Earth uses 25,000 terawatt hours per year. So we're having an excess of 11 million terawatts being released into the atmosphere. They're saying it's literally going to be the hottest temperatures Earth has ever experienced in known human history. Insane storms, droughts, famines. It's like, are they using this as an excuse because all these data centers are popping up all over the world, and that in fact is going to ruin
100%.
They say it's the birth pangs of the Antichrist is what causes the famine and the earthquakes and all this stuff. So when they say birth, these data centers are maybe the birth
pains of what is to come, the big old caboose.
Kylie Jenner's partnership with Dunkin' Donuts is eerie to say the least. For those in the know, I want you to take a good look at this picture behind me, and you'll see it right away. I mean, those who have eyes will see. Take a good look at that. Does nobody else find it eerie that a member of the Kardashian family, let alone the first billionaire within that family, is doing this in an ad with a popular donut and beverage company? I mean, come on, guys. Totally unrelated for entertainment purposes only, but I happen to find this photo of Kylie and her sister from 2015. It looks like on a Polaroid type camera. Take a good look at that and tell me what you notice as well. As if it wasn't eerie and creepy enough, I found this photo on the internet as well, and many people, hypothetically, are saying this is putting it right in front of our faces. So I'm sure an ad like this is just for artistic purposes only. It's only for entertainment, they're just doing it because it's provocative and it gets people talking, right? There's no deeper hidden meaning behind all of these photos, right? Comment below with your thoughts. Am I onto something or am I tripping this time? Wake up.
Here are the most evil companies that you should never buy from again.
Number 1 is Kellogg's, and it was actually invented by a man who wanted to lower human hormones. Number 2 is Monster. The logo literally says 666 in Hebrew, which is satanic. Number 3 is Starbucks. Again, the symbol represents a demonic, lustful figure. And not only that, it was also sued for causing cancer. Number 4 is Nestle, as they actually say that water is not a human right. And they have also faced several lawsuits regarding cancer-causing chemicals in their products. And finally, number 5, Colgate, who were literally sued for containing lead, which has been linked to cancer. Now, you may think that this is not a big deal, but the more that we support these companies, the longer they can keep selling their evil products to us.
Everything that is marketed to you for a reason. So if you're still falling for it, bro, in the big 2-6, it's kind of like natural selection at that point.
US President Donald Trump supposedly smells like urine and is likely to soon, according to a medical expert. Physical therapist Adam James believes the US president has congestive heart failure and chronic kidney failure. James suggests that to manage these conditions, he is most likely on an IV diuretic, which pull fluid from the body, forcing him to pee. He added that he received a DM from a close source who confirmed that the president consistently smells of urine because of his urinary incontinence.
Not so fun fact, Flock cameras have issued a warning to deflock as well as anyone who attempts to damage their cameras, warning them that the AI-powered cameras have a self-defense protocol and anyone who comes into unauthorized contact with the cameras will be given a medium-sized electric shock.
These are things you can legally steal. So per squatters' rights, you're technically allowed to claim ownership of somebody else's house simply by occupying it long enough without their permission. Depending on the state, it's anywhere from 5 to 20 years, and the government can't do anything about it. Once something is technically thrown away for trash collection, it enters the public domain since there's no reasonable expectation of privacy for trash. Additionally, you're allowed to steal business concepts, plot tropes, or even game mechanics as they're not covered under intellectual property law. Leftovers at hotels like toiletries are fair game to take, though towels and bathrobes are considered criminal theft, and finding money on the ground is fair game to pick up as well, as long as there's not a wallet and ID next to it, otherwise it's considered theft of lost property. As long as you're borrowing a car, you can technically drive it permanently and not get charged with auto theft, which is crazy. And if your employer accidentally deposits extra money into your account, you don't legally have to say anything, though you're not allowed to actually spend it, which defeats the purpose. And finally, if you happen to go to the moon, you can legally dig up and keep any raw materials you find there, since it's not technically owned by anyone. Pretty cool, right?
After every person's heart stops beating, the brain can remain active for 7 minutes. So in the first minute, it'll show the first day you were born from the hospital. Second minute, the most happiest, beautiful moments of childhood. The third minute, your love life. Fourth minute, sad and lonely moments. The fifth minute, the miracles. Sixth minute, the judgment time. And then the seventh minute is unpredictable.
Would you be proud of?
So in my last 7 minutes of life, I'm going to be reacting to all these videos all over again. No, thank you.
Officially, as of this week, every single brand new car that is sold in Europe has a camera pointed at your face, watching your eyes the entire time you drive. And guys, if you are somebody that lives in the US, you might want to make sure that you watch this. So it's a little infrared camera built into the steering column, watching your eyes the entire time you're driving. It turns on by itself the second you go over 12 miles an hour, and it is now the law for every single new car and van that is ever sold in the EU. If you look away from the road for more than 3 seconds, it hits you with a light, a sound, or a buzz on your seat. Multiple different testers in Belgium already found it going off during normal driving, like checking your mirror, changing the radio, and turning around to check on your kids in the back seat. They're also saying that it's not doing any sort of facial recognition and that the footage never leaves your car, but nobody has actually said what happens to it after that. And people all over the internet are already worried that this is how we end up with insurance companies using your own eyes to raise your rates, which obviously doesn't even sound like something they wouldn't do. And if you're somebody that lives in the US, they have already officially signed off on their own version of this, so don't get too comfortable.
Palm Beach Pete just made a video where he's getting surgery on his face. They're just playing right in front of our faces now. Take a look at this video and tell me what you think, because I don't know if he's trolling or not.
Where in the world is Palm Beach?
Listen to this.
He's at the Cone Surgical Eye Associates, and I just had 1 cataract, and this team is amazing.
Facial surgery.
Night-Night Oscar, Wendy, Reese, the best doctor.
Had facial surgery right in front of us.
I can't thank them enough. It was fantastic. Thank you.
What is this? Is this just a joke to the elites? Because we know they like to do that. They like to just throw it in our faces and laugh at us and do duper's delight because they think it's fun to get one over on us because they think we're stupid. Also, notice everybody in that video is giggling. Did you see that? Now look, Palm Beach Pete is older, your eyes start to go out. Maybe it's as innocent as that. Maybe he just got this deal and they did it for free so he would promote them, which is weird promotion for them. But I can't help but wonder if this is the elites just laughing in our face.
A lab in Tokyo grew human skin in a dish, stretched it over a robot's face, and pulled it into a smile. But the craziest part is that if you cut that skin, it heals the same way yours does. This is real. University of Tokyo, professor named Shoji Takeuchi. Professor Takeuchi anchored lab-grown skin onto the robot the same way your skin attaches to the tissue underneath. Tiny perforations, acting like ligaments, so it moves and folds like a real face instead of just a mask. The whole point is a machine with skin that senses, ages, and repairs itself. The smile is the part that gets you. It's close enough for your brain to lean in for a second, but then it notices that something is off. That feeling is called the uncanny valley. The closer a thing gets to looking human, the more we like it, until it gets too perfect. Then it flips to dread, because something that looks too perfect stares at you more like a corpse than it does another human. That feeling is your body telling you what's actually alive and what's only pretending. But pretty soon, that thing smiling back at you could be healing faster than you do. If you want to stay updated on more dystopian tech news, then click the link in my bio. But as always, think about it, let me know what you think, and follow me.
I tried to tell you that history has been completely rewritten, which makes it a lie, and you didn't believe me. But when I say I got your I've got your Beethoven, the most famous classical musician of all time, was a black man. Oh, you son of a bitch. Ludwig van Beethoven was of African descent, and the truth of his ethnic origins was covered up through a mixture of white powder worn on his face when out in public. The use of body doubles for portraits and Eurocentric historians hiding the truth of his genetic heritage. Oh, we got your ass now. So this is what people think he looks like. But in reality, this is what he really looked like. Now people, I understand, he ain't as black as me. But for that time period, trust me mate, he was black enough. What you know about Ludwig, my brother you know. Now you have to understand this. Black people, they've always been good with rhythm and timing. So I'm not surprised that it was a black man that made all of these melodies. See this tune here? This tune that I'm always playing, that I'm always bumping? Beethoven made this. So when I say history is a lie, you better believe it.
And selling my soul.
That's what you think happened.
And he took $300 million from Miriam Adelson, something that he once mocked Marco Rubio from doing. He tweeted once about Sheldon Adelson owning Marco Rubio. And you don't take $300 million from people who run the Vegas.
A very generous woman.
You don't take $300 million from people who run Vegas and tell them no about anything. That's how it works. You know, that you could talk about that in the micro level. You know this stuff growing up, basic survival skills, like when people, you know, you don't borrow money from people unless you know who they are. Like, and that's can apply to gangs, you know, it's time to pay up. And so Trump is not his own man, plain and simple. Trump is not running this administration. It wasn't a gift. It wasn't, hey, I really love what you're doing. Here's $300 million. You know, it came with contingencies, demands, one of it being that they wanted to annex the West Bank, which was something that was told to me by Charlie and Andrew Colbert, who were present for that meeting between Miriam Adelson and Donald Trump, that she said that. I'll cut you this check. But when we want to annex the West Bank, that's what they wanted in exchange.
Here are the candy brands that have been sued for causing cancer. Number 1, Lindt, sued for containing 2 toxic heavy metals, both lead and cadmium. Number 2, Reese's, sued for containing PFA forever chemicals in their packaging. Number 3, Skittles, sued for containing a chemical that literally destroys your DNA. Number 4, Hershey's, also sued for containing toxic heavy metals, lead and cadmium. Number 5, Kit Kat, sued for containing arsenic, which causes development issues in children. And finally, number 6, Starburst, sued for containing a chemical that causes organ damage. The best sweets you could have is either high quality dark chocolate or organic fruit. Avoid this junk.
So now is the time for you to go out and buy books. And I don't mean books that were printed recently, I mean older books. I'm obviously not the first one to cover this, but several AI companies have purchased large quantities of physical books, cut off the spines, scanned every page, and discarded those books. Meaning they're scanning books into systems, that way they can train their AI and then completely destroying books. You know, and speaking of literature, in 1984, Winston Smith works at the Ministry of Truth, where his job is to alter old newspapers, speeches, and records so they always match the current party's current claims. You know, who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Another important part is the memory hole, where Winston throws outdated or politically inconvenient documents into chutes, that way they lead to the furnace so they can be destroyed, you know, burned. And you know, once that evidence is gone, the official version is rewritten, and the party expects everyone to just accept the new reality. So people go out and buy used books, older books. Quit buying only ebooks. Because you can't sit here and tell me that those books that you're getting on your Kindle aren't being rewritten. You know, history's been rewritten before, so we're just watching it happen now. And those in power gain enormous influence over what society accepts as true. So once again, buy more books.
I seen this video of this OnlyFans model that was getting arrested when police went to her place and found her old baby mummified. Bro, it was so bad they thought the baby was a toy.
Really?
Bro, I'm gonna get into this. So this actually happened last year in Washington to this 20-year-old girl named Kylia Tolley. Police get a call from her pretty much saying that she wanted them to come through to her house and do a welfare check. They get inside the house. The house is extremely filthy, bro. There's so much trash all over the place. And when they first enter, they see that there is a crib and a bassinet that are like kind of close to the door. They see that there's a girl that's in the crib, and dude, she is so crazy. She's super skinny. She looks so dirty. The police are even surprised that this little girl in the conditions that she was in. But when they got to the house, she already like got up out of there, but she called the police for this reason that I'm about to tell you. The police go over to the bassinet and they find the baby in there, and when they first seen it, they almost skipped past the baby because they thought it was a toy.
Wow.
Dude, the of the baby looks like leather.
Dude.
So the girl, like I said, she left the house and she literally went to like a random parking lot, turned on her phone and just started going on live, talking about everything that was going on with like her kid and how her baby died. And she randomly starts blaming her babysitter. Her friend Chloe calls the police and tells them her exact location. Was like, hey, it looks like she's in this area. Y'all gotta go over there and go get this girl. Police go over there, and after police took this girl in, they got her kid and they took the kid to the hospital. So one of the survived. So it was just really disturbing for a lot of people because it almost was like she was trying to pretend she was living her best life on social medias while she was literally deteriorating behind closed doors, you know?
Yo, there's a lot of girls like this out there in the world. I mean, there's guys too, but you know, I don't like boys, so I don't know about that. But yeah, there's a lot of girls like this in the world, so I don't know. We're cooked.
U.S. officials are urging citizens to check their eggs for this specific serial number to see if they are part of the 20 million infected egg recalls. For context, one of America's largest egg producers, named Midwest Poultry Services, had discovered that their products suffered a widespread salmonella outbreak, and if ingested by humans will cause vomiting, a high fever, and even more severe illnesses in younger children and older adults. Officials announced an immediate recall of all the infected eggs, which were sold at numerous grocery chains, including but not limited to Kroger's, Simple Truth, and Brookshire's, covering multiple states from Texas to Mississippi. The FDA has released two main ways for consumers to determine if the eggs that they bought are infected. The first is a smaller, hard-to-find plant code printed on the side of the carton, which should read either P1950 or 0840962, but if that's too difficult to find, the consumers can also check the sell-by date, which should be between July 20th and August 17th.
Japanese biologist wins a Nobel Prize for discovering how the body eats its own damaged cells when it doesn't receive food. What exactly is happening inside your cells when you skip a meal? In 2016, Yoshinori Ashumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology for for mapping a process that your cells have been running since the beginning of human existence. He called it autophagy. When your body goes without food long enough, it stops waiting for external resources to do a self-audit. Damaged proteins, dysfunctional mitochondria, bacterial overgrowth, viruses, precancerous cells, your body starts tagging them and starts breaking them down, and then it starts recycling the parts. It's your own built-in cellular cleanup crew, and it only clocks in when you stop eating. Your body doesn't need more input. Sometimes it just needs you to get out of the way. But hang tight if you want more videos about fasting, how I've done over 100 days, so make sure you follow for more.
People who sold their soul and got everything they wanted. Number 1, Lady Gaga came from nowhere. One year nobody knew her name, the next year she was everywhere. In interviews, she spoke openly about making sacrifices for fame, about giving up parts of herself she could never get back. She got the fame, the money, and the power. She performed at the Super Bowl. She won Oscars and Grammys. She had everything the world could offer. But she has said publicly that the price was higher than she ever expected. Number 2, Billie Eilish was 17 years old when she became the biggest artist on the planet. She described signing her deal as signing her life away. She spoke about losing herself, losing her privacy, and losing things she can never get back. She got everything overnight. Fame that most people spend decades chasing came to her before she was old enough to understand what it meant. And she has spent every year since trying to understand what it cost her. Number 3, The Weeknd built his entire career in the shadows. Nobody knew his face for years. Nobody knew his real name. Then suddenly, he was the biggest artist alive. His music is filled with references to darkness, sacrifice, and things he cannot explain. He has never fully explained where his talent comes from or what he gave up to get it. And the higher he climbs, the darker his music gets.
He created a germ in a lab, and we just blew it into the atmosphere in San Francisco just to see if anybody would get sick. And lots of people got sick. 11 of them were sick enough that they happened to be to need hospitalization. And it turned out that they all suffered from the same rare respiratory infection. And the doctors are like, where the heck did this come from? Well, the CIA had it in a big tube and they were shooting it into the fog. And they did it in San Francisco because the fog is heavy, and they knew that the fog would keep the germ close to the ground where people are breathing it in. And then the CIA said, you know what we should do? We should hire a whole bunch of prostitutes and rent a cat house, a safe house, and we get these to bring Johns back to the cat house, and then we dose them with and see if we can control their minds. These are American citizens. You can't just dose somebody with and say, ooh, let's see, is he going to go crazy? Is he going to confess to, his deepest, darkest secrets?
So much has happened in the past 24 hours, it's insane. Poland have launched an investigation after a mystery object created a 10-meter crater in the ground overnight, and while there's no confirmation as to what it was yet, their Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, said that all indications suggest it was a Russian missile which violated NATO airspace. Dr. Anthony Fauci exercised his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent a staggering 111 times yesterday during a Senate hearing into the origins of COVID and the handling of the pandemic. Authorities in the Spanish city of Ceuta are asking for a national emergency to be declared and military assistance after thousands of migrants from Morocco and Algeria stormed their border. In fact, Reuters report that in the last week alone, more than 1,500 migrants have entered the Spanish territory by swimming, representing nearly 2% of the city's entire population turning up in just a few days. The US are dealing with a crisis of their own after the American Red Cross announced that the blood supply storage in the country has reached a crisis level, which is only the second time in their 150-year history that this has happened. 4 women have come forward accusing Jared Leto of sexual misconduct, claiming that these incidents occurred when they were only teenagers between the years of 2002 and 2016. Jared Leto, on the other hand, has denied all of the allegations. It's hard to believe that the EA has declared that more than half of England is now in exceptionally serious drought, and satellite images show the striking color change in the UK and France from late May to late July. And lastly, Ghana's tallest man, Sulemana Samid, has died at just 33 years old from health complications linked to his gigantism.
So AI companies are literally shredding books because they filled the internet with so much AI generated text that they can't train on it anymore. And some of these books are the last copies in existence. This is true and crazier than it sounds, because in order to train Claude, Anthropic decided it needed to obtain every book in existence, especially books written before 2022, because that's when AI content started flooding the internet. So they started buying billions of dollars worth of books in bulk secretly, because as these court documents show, they knew the public would freak out over it. But But scanning every single page by hand would be very expensive and time consuming. Instead, they decided to cut the spine off of the books and feed the pages to an industrial scanner and then shred them afterwards, destroying the books entirely. But the scariest part is that nobody at Anthropic checked if any of these books were the last or one of the last remaining copies remaining, meaning books that survived wars, fires, and decades of handling may have just been lost forever. This is obviously a horrible look on Anthropic. What makes it worse is that lately they've been crying about China copying their AI models, while they've been training on the sum of the human knowledge and destroying it afterwards.
They're making a chainsaw-wielding demon robot to rescue people from fire. So a company called Satyrus is making this robot that they have named Three Halves. I guess because you will be in three halves once this robot is done with its chainsaw. Now, according to the company, the robot is meant to go into environments that humans can't really access, and they've implemented multiple safety measures that instantly stop the robot just in case. Now, the robot's main goals is fires, rescue missions, and accessing toxic environments that humans can't go. But I gotta be honest, if this thing had to come in to save me when my house burned down, I would have thought I died and went to hell.
See, I'm glad we're on the same page, bro, because I'm not having some humanoid demon robot come in with a chainsaw about to save my life. You can go save yourself, bro.
Americans are calling for the removal of New York's governor after new data revealed just how bad the state has gotten under her leadership. Since Kathy Hochul took office in 2022, New York has entered into a state of managed decline, with roughly 435,000 people having already left the state, while 37% of all remaining New Yorkers are now considering following suit, mainly caused by Hochul's implementation of these two awful policies that have made New York unlivable. First is the fact that starting from 2022, Hochul has raised the price of New Yorkers' utility bills a mind-blowing 36 times by introducing a new climate law that has caused the cost of electricity to become 50% more expensive than the rest of the country. Then, as if raising prices on Americans weren't enough, she turns around and uses their taxpayer dollars to help her family members and billionaire friends by giving over $850 million worth of tax breaks for her own husband, who is working with billionaire Terry Pagula to construct the new Bill Stadium.
Benjamin Franklin was a horrible He thought about it so much that he was genuinely worried. It was on his mind 24/7. The issue was, he had a ton of options. He was internationally famous, funny, brilliant inventor. He had a lot going for him. Pretty much a modern day rock star, and that came with women. He would write letters to friends, asking for advice on which women to choose, because there were so many. Franklin preferred older women. For him, the older the better. Older women tended to be more knowledgeable, discreet, and there was a lower chance of pregnancy, but he also wasn't above paying for it. He went to saloons and would say he had many intrigues with low women when he was young, but he was doing this at all ages, before, during, and after the American Revolution. Even in his 70s, he would join private clubs with bad reputations, hung out in the nude. Some say he had dozens of illegitimate children, but that's probably not true. Overall, the guy was a brilliant inventor, but also an addict.
So it's confirmed that they lied about the coronavirus. And you can see the tweet the White House put out earlier today. It has 50 million views. Now on the website, it states that the virus possessed a biological characteristic that is not found in nature. Social distancing was also completely made up. The whole standing 6 feet apart and wearing masks was completely arbitrary and not backed by science. So shutting down schools and businesses was not even necessary. Now China also originally explained that COVID naturally jumped from an infected animal to a human. However, critics are saying that China hid some very important information. It's very possible that a researcher was accidentally infected while studying bat coronaviruses at a Wuhan lab that then allowed the virus to spread outside the facility. So now the World Health Organization is admitting that the COVID-19 pandemic was a failure due to the fact that they basically just believed everything that China told them. All I'm gonna say is if you got vaccinated, brother, you are cooked. And the sad part is some people were basically forced to take the vaccine because their workplace didn't allow them to go if they weren't vaccinated.
Oh wow, our own government was responsible for us getting sick? Who would have ever guessed such a thing? Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're gonna be on to the next one. Thank you. This light is bright.